is Hank Stevens, president of the Navajo Mountain Chapter, located in Navajo Mountain, Arizona, Utah. And Hank is going to speak to us about the Indigenous perspective. Hank?
Good afternoon, everyone. And thank you all for joining us for the call today. And some of the things that have been shared with everyone on this call is very enlightening and very educational. And it's something that I'm kind of looking forward to, with a theme of where do we go from here? It's a pretty tough question when you start thinking about it. And it's something that I kind of want to focus on. Maybe my introduction to everyone on this call is to how the Indigenous people actually came to be from the day that they were born. And it's a story, not a story, but it's a reflection of where I personally came from. And I always say that I try to talk about things from my experience. So with that, I would like to say that I was born in Nautisan, and Nautisan meaning the head of earth. And the English name is Navajo Mountain, Utah, in San Juan County. And we're actually adjacent to the San Juan River when it was free flowing and down the canyon lands of Navajo country back in the early or the late 50s and early 60s. My mother, she tells me, gave birth to me in the fall of 1956, in the latter part of the harvest season in a cornfield. She went into labor when she was clearing the last of the crop fields. So during those days, women had the ability to actually work and actually go into labor, while they were actually working. And as I was born underneath a cedar tree, an evergreen served as a shelter. The sun rays that provided warmth and comfort with the universe looking down at my infant body. The air fresh, and I inhaled and continued to this day. My grandmother is midwife that actually delivered me, received my spiritual being without restrictions of modern day human structures like a hospital. The Creator acknowledged my first cry. With that, I am recognized to this day. My biblical cord cut and the placenta taken to an evergreen and placed there, and to this day continue to be a shrine. Periodically visit and talk to the shrine. Monsoon water retrieved from a rock bed served as my first bath water. Born into Mother Nature's womb, I continue to exist to this day. My grandmother gave me my first name. My name is Twile, pure in English. What a name. I've come to this age and realized that perfection is unattainable. No matter how hard you try. If the world was perfect, there would be no need for prayers. Some prayers get answered, some prayers don't get answered. We must juggle positive and negative throughout our lives and teach from all the mistakes that we made. And I think that's something that we're actually looking at today. Some of the things that we as creatures on Mother Earth, you know, we inadvertently establish certain things, and now the country, we're actually facing the consequences. So with that, I kind of want to go into the tribal perspective and consultation. And first, I kind of like to give you a quote, and I kind of want you all to think about it. Nothing is at last sacred, but the integrity of our mind. And it's something that I truly believe that we have the ability to kind of really sit down and focus. As you know, most of you people have different responsibilities and all that. And as I was growing up, I used to travel different states, visit different tribes, watch them do different ceremonies, and I would sit there and listen to the elderly men and women that were congregated around a fireplace. When they used to tell us, and their instructions was that as human beings, when we go into a talking session or a collaboration or even a ceremony, that we take everything off that is actually bestowed on us. Meaning that we need to leave or CEO or responsibilities or executive directors or everything outside the doorway. That way you can actually sit down and focus on what is actually being talked on. And then after that discussion is over, you can go out the door and pick up your apparatus that makes you and go back into your normal way of life. So there's another quote too that says, to be yourself in a world that is constantly trying to make you something else is the greatest accomplishment. And then that in itself pretty much, the two quotes pretty much summarizes our ability to open our minds and our hearts to comprehend and use the potentially negative impacts that produces a positive result in preservation of human identity, culture, communities, language, and people. To do that, we must preserve, protect, educate one another about our natural resources for the benefit of future generations, as we all share all the resources in the environment. As I sit before you today, you probably think there's really nothing amiss about my face that you see on your screen right there. But in 2014, I did realize that I wasn't immune to gravity, meaning that I fell. And as you look at my face today, I have 7 titanium plates that actually hold my head together, my skull. I've got 2 in my eye socket that actually secures my eyes. And I appreciate the day today to actually be able to sit here and be thankful for the doctors that the Creator actually bestowed that blessing upon the hands of that doctor that actually put my skull back together. I do appreciate the practitioner, the medicine people, the herbalists that went out and fetched some of these herbal plants so I could recover to be who I am today. And I spent 1 month with my jaws wired shut. And I could only consume food that was actually put in a blender for 1 month. So I had a fractured skull, I had a fractured elbow and arm, fractured knee, and right knee and right leg. And it's something that I will always remember because, like I said earlier, I speak from experience. I know what herbal plants can actually do to a human body to restore and repair the human body. I recovered 3 months later and was able to go back to work. So this is my testimony to everyone on this call that I do not take this discussion lightly, and that everything, all the land, the water, the air, all of Mother Nature and its natural resources is a panacea for every living thing here on earth. And in the ground, the insects, in the air, where the birds fly, and even in the ocean. So I hope today that we can actually open our minds and our hearts and be able to collaborate and find a solution and charter uncharted territories, something that has never been done. So we can all continue to benefit from our natural resources. And not just us, but for future generations, that they may be able to learn from us, because at some point we have to engage the younger generation. There's a lot of experience on the screen that I'm looking at right now. And it's our responsibility to take that young individual and teach and continue to teach them. Because we know the kind of impact and the consequences of being disconnected from our Aboriginal land. And today, there are very few of us left. We have lost a lot of people that had knowledge that could very well have spoken today on how precious this land is and how to preserve it and how to talk to it. In this day's world, I try to talk from the experience that I have. And earlier I was saying that I travel different states. So on my travels, when I travel from point A to point B, that becomes a ceremonial trail. If I leave Navajo Mountain and go to Bears Ear or Grand Staircase-Escalante National Monument to fetch an inaugural plant, that becomes a ceremonial trail. So we're actually talking about two different worlds. I'm actually sitting in Antelope Point Marina right now, and I'm only about maybe 2 miles from Page. And the people in Page, when they go to church, they only go 2 or 3 blocks down the road to go to church. To worship. Anywhere on Mother Nature, on Mother Nature's soil, could be a sacred shrine, a place of prayer. Because we acknowledge the water, the ponds, the running springs, the rivers, the female rain, the male rain, and the plants, for what they provide us, and the animals, the insects, the mammals, the fishes, the birds. And that's how we're actually born in Mother Nature's womb. Thank you for giving me the time to talk to y'all. And I hope that at some point in time, we can actually sit around a table and have a person-to-person meeting. It's very, I kind of want to really see the person behind all them names and to acknowledge one another. Thank you.